Mike Tomlinson, aka Idlemine at Experts Exchange here. Today I'm going to share with you an app I call Slide Puzzle Factory. The inspiration for this puzzle is Professor Layton and the Diabolical Box. If you like puzzles, it's a great game. I highly recommend it. The journey for this app started when my kids came down and they were stuck on this particular key puzzle. It's of the slide variety, so they actually use their stylus to click on the screen and drag the pieces around. And they wanted help solving this, but they didn't want to give up their Nintendo while I figured it out. So I decided to write an app that would allow me to recreate the puzzles on my computer and solve them independently. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my app here, and I'm going to make this key puzzle right now. So here's how it opens up. I'm going to go ahead and resize it a little so we can see both of them. And you can see here this puzzle is a 5x9 grid. I'm actually going to make mine a 5x10 so I can have an extra column at the bottom. You'll see why in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and change my columns to 5. And I'm going to leave my rows at 10. And I'm going to start out by making the key first. So as you can see, as I move the mouse around, the Add Piece box moves with it. I'm just going to left click right here to start the key, and then I'm going to move my cursor down to the bottom of the box, and unfortunately you can't see it on your screen, but as you move to the edges of the piece, the cursor actually changes to an arrow to indicate that you can expand the piece in that direction. So I'm just going to left click at the edge here when my cursor changes to an arrow, and I'm going to expand it so that I have a 1x2 key. Now I'm going to right click it and select back color, and I'm going to make it yellow, just like the key. So now I have a yellow key. Now let's go ahead and make this 4x4 red piece next. Again, I'm just expanding the piece by moving to the edge and clicking. Let's change the back color to red. And then we've got a little green L piece. And another L up here. Another red one below that. And then the last piece is kind of a tan color. Alright, so that takes care of the pieces. Now we need to create the dead space on the puzzle, and the dead space is where the pieces cannot be moved. And you create dead space the same way as you do the pieces. You just start it and then expand it. But then you right click it and select dead space. And you can see the numbers disappear to show that it's not a movable piece. I'm going to right click it and change the back color to black. Let's do the same thing over here. Dead space, make it black. And there's a dead space in the middle here. And then down at the bottom, the goal of this puzzle is to get the key into the keyhole. So I want to make this area around the keyhole yellow, just to make it easier to see where it should go. So I'm actually going to make this bottom section into 3 different dead piece sections. So I'm going to make this one yellow. And then I'll do the 2 pieces on the side as black. Right, so now we've faithfully reproduced the physical characteristics. The last thing we need to do as far as this puzzle is concerned is tell it where the goal for the key is. So I'm going to right click the key, piece number 1 here. I'm going to say set piece target, and then you see it puts a piece of the same shape as that on top. I'm just going to left click and drag it and place it down where it needs to go. I'm going to let go. I'm going to right click it again and say set piece target, and now the puzzle knows where the key is supposed to go. Some of the puzzles in the game actually have multiple pieces with multiple targets, and you can also do that in my app. Next we're going to put the instructions up here on the top. I'm just going to write get the yellow piece number 1 into the yellow keyhole at the bottom. Let's go ahead and save it so that we can open it again later or email it to a friend. Just going to call it yellow key, and it's been saved. The other things you can do are on the right side here, there's an increase and decrease block size. Let's make it a little bigger so we can see it. So right now we're in design mode, and when you want to actually play with the puzzle, we'll click on this button over here that says switch to puzzle mode, and now we can actually click and drag these pieces and move them around and try to solve the puzzle. I'm not going to do it for you right now because that would take away from the fun, but if you get stuck, you can hit the reset puzzle button and it will put it back to the way it was. So that's my Slide Puzzle Factory app. If you want to download it, the link is in the comments. And thanks for watching and happy puzzling.